Hello, everyone. My name is Bella Venegas, and I will be presenting the generations of those all around us. So, when thinking about the terms that we use today, there are other things that need to be thought about as well. As Generation Z, I think about how my mother, grandmother, and even cousins use language in their time growing up. My mother, 49, my grandmother, 69, and my cousin, 26, and myself, 20, all have similar but different means to words that were used, are used, and will be used for the time to come. So let's talk about the difference in vernacular within generation. Generation baby boomer use many different terms such as gay, hacked off, groovy, square, threads, a gas, etc. And although some of them may even come off offensive today, words such as gay meant happy instead of an insult, just as a gas meant a good time, which for me personally doesn't make sense. Generation Z and millennials cross over when using slang to have the same meaning as what they actually are. There is a disconnect with boomers and Generation Z when it comes to the same meaning of words. For example, bet. Gen Z and millennials are connected more through slang because we're all integrated through technology with social media today. Even though Generation Z and millennials use the similar jargon, with the widespread of technology, Gen Z and baby boomers are being exposed to a different way of how language is portrayed in this day of age and becoming more aware of terms social and politically and how they are correct. You can also see the different examples that I have left for each of the generations, such as Generation Z using cap, fam, period, millennials, clap back, flex, ghosted, high key, Generation X, grody, gag me, what's up, talk to the hand. All of these are very different, but yet similar in the same way. Throughout this presentation, I actually asked my family members some of the words that they said during their time, but why is this important? So it is easy to stereotype generations because of the differences in social and expectational societal norms which people hold for one another throughout society. This seems that social media closes the generational gap and makes it seem as though there will be an increase of understanding. According to an article published by Notre Dame of Maryland University, there are three things that are important to know when it comes to bettering your communication skill with other generations than your own. 1. Consider your audience. This meaning that each generation is unique and that you need to know how to talk to people in different settings. 2. Individualism. This meaning that everyone does not always live up to a generational stereotype and you have to learn and communicate with them to understand how to speak with them. And 3. Teach and learn. Having the willingness to teach preference, and then it will come a time when everyone would not have to use such a familiar method to language. My generational understanding and differences comes from a personal experience with family. For the most part, we carry the same beliefs, traditions, and history as a family despite those generational gaps. However, there are still those misunderstandings that come with every language barrier. Explanations have to occur because we don't always agree on the meaning of another person's vernacular. This also compares to writing skills because there are differences generationally when it comes to learning. Although Generation Z and baby boomers have been taught and exposed to the same technology, they had to learn it at an older age rather than those that were born millennials or Gen Z. For example, Generation X and boomers had to have their own constructive research through encyclopedias and books from the shelves, while millennials and Gen Zs have the access to technology and the up-to-date research in order to better their knowledge of writing and understanding. Throughout this project, I learned that there are many things that are different within a generational society, and we all have to connect together to understand one another so we can grow as a society in the future. I want to thank you for listening, and I hope that you enjoyed.